Hey guys, welcome back. Today we're just going to do a quick first look video at a couple of new wheel sets that I have in my hands. We have the new Enve SES 4.5, the Princeton Carbon Works 5550, and of course the Zipp's 404 that we've already seen on the channel just a little bit. So I have everything stripped down, down to the rim tape, so that way we can weigh everything, see how it all compares. I also have my digital calipers here that we'll do a quick couple of measurement checks on, and once we do this quick first look video, then we'll put some tires on and get some real world testing. So stay subscribed if you want to see those real world tests coming soon. This is just a quick first look video, kind of looking at all the little details that a lot of times you can't find on the website, or it's a little bit difficult to find the information for. So hope you enjoy, and let's get right into it. All right, so the first wheel set, let's take a look at the Princeton Carbon Works 5550. These are laced with the Tune hubs, the SL Hill Climb hubs, so they'll be a little bit lighter than some of your options, but not as light as the Tactic Racing hubs. That also means that these wheel sets are priced much more competitively than the Tactic Racing hub wheel set. Both of these wheels are rim tapeless, so the spoke holes are covered by carbon, which is really nice. You don't have to put down rim tape. Disadvantage is if you're changing spokes a lot, it might become a little bit of a hassle, but honestly, most people don't need to change spokes that frequently. These are pretty durable wheels, and I haven't seen a lot of issues on any online forums about replacing spokes on their Princeton wheels. So let's get the calipers out, have them right here, all zeroed in. So it's pretty easy to find the internal width online of these wheels, and that is coming in right on 22 millimeters. So that's right what they publish. What they don't publish on their website is how wide these rims are. So they claim they're optimized for 28 to like 32 millimeter tires, but they don't publish the outer rim width. So I find that interesting, right? Because a lot of the times the outer rim width, you want to pair to your tire width. That's usually how you can reach the optimum level of balance and stability on your tire rim combo. So the external rim width on these wheels looks to be about 28.6 millimeters. If we go, the very widest that the rim goes is 29.1. So yeah, I'd call it 29 millimeters as the widest. So yeah, with the 28 and the 22 internal, that should be a pretty good combination. I wouldn't go much bigger than a 28 if you're trying to balance your aerodynamics and your wind stability, but there you go. 29 is about the maximum outer rim width that you'll have on these 5550s. Now let's get to the weights. Like I said, these aren't the Tactic Racing hub, so they're going to be a little bit heavier than that. Turn on the scale here. 0. Okay, so we're good to go. So front wheel with, this is including valve stem, front wheel 700 grams, and rear wheel 810 grams. So 1510 grams for the wheel set, and that's 55 millimeters deep at the deepest here, and 50 millimeters at the shallowest. So that's really not bad at all. Not the lightest weight deep wheel set, but also not a heavy wheel set by any means. Next, let's jump over to the Enve. These are the 4.5 SES rims. So these are the 2022 rims, not the older 4.5 AR. So there's a few changes between those two models. One, this rim is now lighter, and two, it's now a little bit wider, and it runs just a little bit more of a, they call it an anti-pinch flat bead. So basically they've just rounded off the corner, so that way if you do happen to hit your rim, you're less likely to cut your tire and create a flat that way. These do have rim tape on it, so the weight will be including rim tape. These though do have DT Swiss hubs in them, 180s, instead of the standard Enve hubs. So that's about the only difference from stock that comes with these. Obviously the decals are a different color, but the weight will be the same. So no big surprises there. If we get out the calipers, the internal width is bang on that 25 millimeter mark, and the external width at the rim is 32.8 millimeters. If we go the very widest that they go, it's like they go as wide as 33.4 millimeters. So just a tiny bit wider in the middle of the rim there. And that is on this front wheel. So it's got a little bit more of a U shape to it. So the edges here are a little bit more rounded and less V shape, which is supposed to help with the crosswind stability. Like I said, we'll find out once we actually get to the riding and put some tires on these. The rear rim is a little bit different. It's a little bit more of that V shape because it's supposedly better in aerodynamics, but we'll see, right? We haven't tested them out yet. But the depth is deeper. So this is 56 millimeters deep, and the front wheel is only about 50.5 millimeters deep. But the internal and the external width on this one is going to be the same as the front wheel. So if we get into the weights, throw this front wheel on. Oh, of course, just turned off. All right, reset. Okay, front wheel, here we go. Front wheel is 660 grams, and the rear wheel is 760 grams. And that is, I should say again, including the valves and the rim tape. So everything should be comparable between all the three wheel sets. So that's not bad. That's only 1,420 grams for what is, I would consider, a fairly deep, probably midsection rim. So 50 millimeters and 56 millimeters, 1,420 grams with rim tape and valve stems. Not too bad. Let's go ahead and jump over to the Zipps and see how those last ones compare. Okay, now last we'll come to the Zipp wheels. These are the 404 Firecrest, the newer model. Again, with rim tape, with valve, so everything's comparable between these three different wheel sets. But let's go ahead and grab the calipers. Internal rim width on these, 23 millimeters. So sits right in between the Princeton and the Enve. External width, however, is going to be narrower. It's at 27.5 millimeters wide, so a little bit narrower, and that is also the widest of any point on the rim. So 27.5 is about as wide as you'll go. You won't want to run tires too much bigger than 25, 26 to get that optimal stability on that front wheel at least. Depth though is going to be 58 millimeters. So these are also the deepest of the bunch that we have right now. So this front wheel is even deeper than the rear Enve wheel on those 4.5s. So a little bit more aerodynamic, supposedly, right? We'll see once we get some tires on here and test everything and just see how it all rolls. It'll be interesting to compare. If we go ahead and jump over to the weight side of this equation though, the front wheel on this Zipp 404, 710 grams. And the rear wheel is 840 grams. So 1,550 grams for the set. Not too bad either. Honestly, deep rims are getting lighter and lighter now, so they're becoming less and less of a penalty over lightweight rims. And I know there's some lighter weight rims that are getting even lighter and lighter, but realistically, a couple years ago, finding a deep wheel, almost 60 millimeters deep for 1,550 grams would have been a hard thing to do. So all the wheels have come a long ways. I'm really excited to throw some tires on these. Do you have a favorite wheel set here? I know the Princetons kind of look the coolest with their wavy profile, but I am really curious to see how these Enve wheels stack up. Anyways, guys, thanks for watching this quick first look. Like I said, we'll get those tires on them. We'll get out for a first ride, maybe do a couple first ride impression videos. And then after I can ride the wheels for a little bit longer, do a slightly more in-depth review. And if you haven't seen the big, deep, in-depth Zipp review, go ahead and take a look at that. And then we'll be able to compare these wheel sets to all those other Zipp rims as well. Just want to get a little bit more miles on them so it's a true review and not just, wow, these are new wheels, they're great, like you see all the time. So hopefully that'll be a little bit more valuable to you. there's something you want to know about one of these wheels in particular, please drop me a comment so that I know what to look for while I'm testing, and hopefully I can get back to you with an answer. Thanks for watching, guys. See you in the next one.